Ray Stevenson, I was just telling you, I loved you as Titus on Rome, and you're showing me this ring, and I'm like...
13th Legion.
I'm so jealous.
It hangs with me. I mean, it's stayed with me. In fact, what it's led to is that all the characters I now play, because obviously I can't keep this on, I've now got a collection of rings for this index finger from all my different shows. And indeed, I've got a Blackbeard one now.
That's so cool. So
delighted.
Speaking of Blackbeard, how cool is that? I mean, first of all, this Black Sail show,
yeah.
It is like a movie. I mean, it is. That's why it wins Emmys for this stuff. Yeah. And you get to play one of the most iconic characters in pirate history. Talk to me about being Blackbeard.
Being Blackbeard, wow, it's like, it's a gift of a part, but it's a minefield as well, because you don't want to sort of fall down the obvious traps and stuff like this, and you know, the show is very much not about making things too cod piratey, and yet you've got this iconic, legendary pirate who comes in. So the whole part of there's so much research available and all this, and so you do all that, but you try and grab the essence of what he is and bring it into the Black Sail sort of world. And he's been away, so he's coming in series 3, and he's kind of separate from the group by nature of who he is and his history, but he's not detached. You know what I mean? Because he was actually one of the founders with Hornigold and all that, and Avery, one of the founders of Nassau, one of the co-authors of the Pirate Charter, the original Pirate Charter. So you're coming in and you know you're going to upset the apple cart, right? You're like this. The old school is come back in, and it's gonna blow it all apart. So very exciting to come in and also seeing this beautiful established family going through their own turmoils, and you come in and boom, blow it all apart. And so that's been a thrill. That's been just tremendous.
So many great actors. I mean, I had the pleasure of interviewing the cast last year at Comic-Con. Right. You have Toby. I mean, so many great talents. Yeah. It's got to be just such a thrill to work with some of these people.
It is. I mean, you know, all of Toby Schmitz and Zach and Clara and you know, and Jess. It's just like so many, and just everywhere you turn. And also they're iconic. It's like Jack Rackham and Charles Vane, and that, you know what I mean. So it's a bit like Rome as well. You know, when you're looking around. And I remember when I was shooting Rome, I was living on a street called Portico d'Ottavia, because at the end of the street was a gate, a portico, which was built by Octavian for his sister Octavia, and I'm going to work with them. Right? And
Awesome.
it's just a bit of a sort of like, whoa, hang on. And with this one, you know, obviously you're looking around and you got and you're that guy, and you know you're that guy that walks in a room and the heads turn and just say, shh, it's Blackbeard. No, it's not. Yeah, it's Blackbeard. So you know, I mean, it's so exciting.
Talk about an actor who inhibits so many different worlds. You go from Rome, you do the Divergent Insurgent stuff. Yeah. You're in this futuristic world. Can you ever do a show where it's not like some kind of some fictional world?
I did the other guys with Will Ferrell and Mark
That's
Wahlberg.
true. That is true.
And Dexter. That's not. You know what I mean?
It's a comedy world.
Yeah, but Dexter's not so comedy.
No, Dexter was the opposite of comedy.
Yeah. But so, I mean, it's just as they come along. I mean, you know, but they are just such great roles. What are you going to do? What are you going to say?
Did it blow you away, the production value? Because I mean, Rome was beautiful, but it seems like this is like a whole different world.
Well, yeah, I think Rome was one of the first sort of catalysts and big sort of like pushes.
Cable TV shows.
And you know, God bless HBO for committing to that and putting that down. And in fact, one of the big reasons, one of the main reasons why I took the show on when it got offered, obviously I read a script and I'd seen some episodes and what have you, but it was the watching of the making of. And when I saw the making of, and I saw the production values, and I saw everyone from the fabricators to the wardrobe department to the makeup department to the actors talking about this to the crew and you go like this, you know what, this is what we do. This is why we do what we do. And also, you saw it on screen. You saw the money on screen. They put their money where their mouth is, and they weren't, you know, they really had committed, and it was just like, wow, how exciting! This is like movie TV or TV. I mean, it's like, what's the difference?
Has it blown you away to see that? Because you've been doing this for a long time. Does it?
Never ceases to amaze.
TV is crazy right now.
Because also I've got some friends who are TV writers, and especially whatever they write, they can get made. You know, where it doesn't have the restrictions now because the platforms have all changed. They've now got such an international appeal and such an international market, so they can experiment much more so, shall we say, than on movies. The experimental stage of movies has to be so worked out, and so because I don't know whether the stakes are essentially higher, and it's so far down the road that it's going to be seen, and is it going to hit the right market? Is it going to make a return? Whereas these things can come out and roll, and they can adjust literally day by day, and you know, alter things and improve on a day-by-day process. In movies, you're doing that, but you're doing that with still a year, 18 months away from its release.
Do you get lost in that world? Like I would find myself, I think, if I was an actor, getting lost in that world of pirates and almost forgetting that there is a real world outside of it.
Well, you do, yeah, you know, obviously you do, and it's surprising. What's weird is that subconsciously you're walking down the street and some odd, obscure pirate book, even if it's a pirate book for kids, I think my son would like. Why am I looking at the pirate? Of course he'd like a pirate. But they, you know, yeah, everything, and or you see some nautical thing or an old map, and all of a sudden you do, obviously, because it's there, it's beneath the surface. You know, you're never switching off. You know, and old coins, and then stories on National Geographic about treasure hunters in the Bahamas. Oh, gotta watch that. Why not? You know.
What's been your favorite project? I'm curious because you've had so many great roles.
Well,
What's really moved you?
I mean, it has to be Rome, really, because that basically, that was one of the major periods in my life. It turned my life around. I mean, basically, I found my partner who was my landlady.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the rent went up.
That's awesome.
So now we're there with 3 boys and a rescue puppy, and
free rent.
Yeah, no, the rent went up, but it got me my representation in the States as well, and effectively started my movie career. I mean, you know, it's so much happened because of that one, and I, dare I say, learned to get out of my own way in that series. You know, I stopped having a stupid projected view about if I did this, then maybe I could, you know, this thing about actors trying to judge themselves and how they can improve. And it really made me sit down in my own skin and go, you know what, just turn up and do the job. The job's enough.
When you select your roles, what is it you specifically look for?
I look for specifically, is there a need for it? And by that, I'm also put the caveat on it that I'm not the demographic for a lot of the stuff I play. And that's very important to me as an actor. I would hate it if all I did was stuff that I thought was worthy and that stuff that I would enjoy watching. You serve the play, you serve the piece. But if there's a need, no matter even if that need is, this is going to get kids out of their skin, right? Or, you know, there's a need for this story to be told. People deserve to have this story told, and so they can go and lose themselves in the passage of time. You know, so.
I'm looking at the poster, man. It's crazy to even think that's you.
I know.
How much you have to spend time-wise?
About 2.5 hours in the morning. I mean, that beard is laid on individually. I mean, it's just like, when you get it picked up at 4 o'clock in the morning, your body's screaming at you. You know, it's just like, that's it. We should be going home now, not getting up. And then they glue your face in the morning. It's, you know, but you look at the effect and you go, even when I walk on set, a lot of the supporting artists and stuff like that, they won't even come up and say hello. It's just like, like, you know that just turning up, you're having that effect, and that's like the whole, you know, the whole ensemble. That's everything. The wardrobe department, the props department, the armorers, the hair and makeup, and then you got. I mean, it's wonderful.